And there are some things coming down the line that they're going to tell you you're not going to be able, you and your children are not going to be able to keep up with anyone else if you don't get this thing, if you don't implant this thing, if you don't do this thing.
You can enjoy a more leisurely life.
It ain't more leisurely, because we got to work more to pay for all this stuff. He's got you there.
Do you think that convenience culture ruined just about everything? I think it's embedded into human nature, which is not always a bad thing, to try to find the easier route to do things. Now, this can be a good thing when we're learning to work smarter and not harder. If there is a way that we can be more efficient and effective at the work that we're doing, and it's not cutting corners and it's not hurting anybody, there's no reason to work harder to get the exact same outcome of something when you can work smarter. Now, convenience culture, I think, taps into that part of human beings where we are looking for shortcuts a lot. I think it manipulates that part of us and exploits that part of us for the gain of corporations, the powers that be. I think they utilize that for marketing purposes. But I also think that maybe there's something deeper there beneath the surface where they've tapped into that part of us in order to slowly begin to weaken society and make us more dependent on the system. I think that the plan has been set for a pretty long time now, and they had to roll it out in stages to utilize convenience to completely link and lock us into being dependent on the system. Because 150 years ago, if the grid that existed 150 years ago or the system had gone down, it would have been maybe a little annoying, or there would have been some issues.
A wood floor, real glass windows.
A door that locks?
That too.
But it wouldn't have collapsed everything. It was grid down today, according to experts. They say that if the grid was down, the system that we're all linked into was down for 6 weeks, that 90% of the population would go bye-bye, would perish. That is a pretty wild statistic. But it would seem to me that that is the statistic specifically because we are so unbelievably dependent. It took a generation or two to wipe the memory of a lot of people of how to be self-sufficient in the slightest. I think that taking people out of the hearth of the home, out of the kitchen, was very on purpose. I think with the Industrial Revolution, removing fathers from the home was very on purpose, and having them be away from their sons where they weren't teaching their sons trades and skills. I think having women removed from the home was incredibly nefarious. That's not to say that women don't have incredible skill sets and passions and creative gifts and spiritual gifts that they have to offer the world. But removing them from the heart of the home, from the hearth, I think was very on purpose. Public school system rose up. When everyone's out of the home all the time, you need more convenience items in order for life to continue on. Because when the family's not in the home or on the land, when the family's not taking care of that, you need more and more convenience. As the population grows more and more and people have less and less skills of knowing how to take care of themselves, you have to create systems of convenience in order for life to go on, in order for people to be able to live and function. And so while there has been some great progress over the last 150 years that we can be very thankful for, there has been a lot of detrimental, quote unquote, progress that they say was done to be helpful that I think has actually crippled us physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
As water is pumped through the machine, soap is added here, and the agitation removes Any soiling. The refrigerator, top compartment, keeps food frozen.
And you sell these?
We rent them,
So you sell electricity, and then you rent all the things that need electricity?
more or less. Well, the conveniences. Their use gives you time to do other things. A more leisurely life.
It ain't more leisurely, because we gotta work more to pay for all this stuff. He's got you there.
This is the future. Even have electric stoves.
Now here's the thing. We buy all this stuff, we're not working for ourselves anymore, we're working for you.
I remember seeing this and thinking, so much of this has been marketing, obviously part of this bigger scheme that's at play. This was absolutely a way to sell people more things. Oh, you need this next thing for convenience, this next thing, this next thing, this next thing. And now, what do we have now? Now we've invited full-on surveillance systems into our appliances, into our homes, where anyone can tap into that feed and listen to us and watch us 24/7. We have been willing to sacrifice literally every aspect of our autonomy on the altar of convenience. Everything. And we're paying a premium for it. We pay a premium for these convenience items. And now life is so expensive. And I do believe that convenience culture has played into how expensive life is, because think of all the things that we need now that people didn't need 150 years ago. But we need them now to function and keep up with other people. And there are some things coming down the line that they're going to tell you you're not going to be able, you and your children are not going to be able to keep up with anyone else if you don't get this thing, if you don't implant this thing, if you don't do this thing. The ultimate convenience, you have to plug into this currency system, the central banking system that is going to take over, that we're all going to be required to tap into. That is the end game of convenience culture. It's the end game. I was sitting with this and I thought they had been gearing us up with all of this stuff for all this time, because that's the end game. You need smart everything. You need something to do everything for you. You don't have to want to think. You don't have to want to be creative. AI, the central currency, and smart systems, that is their touchdown zone. That's the end game. It is the full manifestation of convenience culture. And look how fast they did it. That always gets me when I think about, 150 years. Listen, there are people who are alive today that are, I think there's someone who's 114, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a little more, it might be a little less. There are people alive today that have seen most of this happen. This isn't hundreds and thousands of years. This is just in the last 150 years. And we are, in my humble opinion, rapidly creeping towards this end zone. I would love to know in the comments if there's one convenience item that every time you hear about it or you see it, you just think to yourself, no one needs that. Literally no one needs that. This is so ridiculous and extra, but they're trying to promote it to us or market it to us like it's life-changing. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below. And I don't mean any offense to anyone who has one of these, okay? Please don't hate me. I can't get over the spying refrigerators. I can't get over it. The ones that tell you when you're out of milk. When did we get to a point where we can't assess for ourselves that we're running low on milk? I will never, ever get past it. I don't know. Like, we have the conveniences they put in the newer vehicles, conveniences. And now when you go to get your, somebody hits you in the back of your car and you go to get things replaced, where it used to be like a $35 taillight and some dent work, it's like $10,000 because there's all these computer systems in there and all this stuff. Call me a rebel a little bit. I will go out of my way to sometimes do the quote harder thing, the less convenient thing, just because I want to keep my brain functioning in a way that's not completely dependent. I want to purposefully learn a lot of these things, and I think that that's so important and so critical in this moment in time. And I know that there's a big movement of people that are purposefully learning. They're purposefully doing the less convenient thing. They're purposefully going out there and learning the skill sets that we've lost. In my Lost Art of Living book, I have a chapter, Wisdom in the Woodshed, and it's all about this. If you're interested in these sort of topics, you might enjoy my book, The Lost Art of Living. You also might enjoy my program, The Lost Art of Healing. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're learning to return more to the design of God, I have a whole program called The Lost Art of Healing. I also have my 30-day glow up reset. If you just need a little boost and you need someone to walk you along it, if you tend to fall off halfway through, I actually have a video, a link on each day of the reset that you can click on. And there's a little video encouragement message from me so that I'm walking beside you over the 30 days of the reset. And the program, the Lost Art of Healing program, comes with a school community, a private access link to a school community for ongoing connection and support. So if any of that sounds like something you've been looking for, I'd love to have you. I will leave all the information for you in the description box. But I think it is just crucial right now for us to learn something. I'm gonna put this down because someone always likes to comment on my emotional support teacup. Okay, we all have our things. It's like a blankie for adults. I like my teacup in my hand, okay? Anyway, even if you feel like your situation is not ideal, and just so everyone knows, I come from a part of the country where we talk with our hands a lot. I am not sending secret Masonic signals, hand signals to anyone. I get that in every comment section where people are like, aha, gotcha. I know we live in a crazy world. Things are happening right in front of our face that are insane, that are insulting to our intelligence. But not everyone who goes like this is making a secret hand signal. I am married to a full-blooded Italian man. Okay, I'm just over here listening to bird YouTube videos, drinking jasmine tea, and minding my business, I promise you. Anyway, the reason why this is so important, even if you don't feel like you are in an ideal situation, you can still learn things. That's why people put things off so much. They feel like, well, when this happens, I'll start this. When this happens, I'll do this. And we can do that in every area of life. We can do that in dealing with our limiting beliefs. We can do that in our healing journey. We can do that in learning new skills. We can do that. I see that over with the Homespun Income stuff and starting a YouTube channel or starting an online brand. Every area of life, we can always say, well, when X, Y, and Z then. And unfortunately, what happens with that is so many people, like the day never comes because it's uncomfortable to learn new things. It is. But sometimes you just gotta start and you gotta quote unquote fail and then you gotta try again and you gotta be consistent and chip away at something. You'd be shocked what you're capable of. Ask me how I know, because God's done stuff in my life that sometimes I sit here and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it's incredible. But when you're willing to get a little uncomfortable and learn things and be okay with failing at things or be okay with messing it up and trying again, and you keep plugging away at something, you'd be so shocked at what you're capable of. We can learn new things. We can redirect and retrain neural pathways by learning how to do things outside of the convenience system. It doesn't mean we're not going to obviously utilize the system or utilize some of that convenience or learn how to work smarter instead of harder. It means that we are going to learn how to be a little more self-sufficient. We're going to learn a little bit more about how our body works. We're going to learn a little bit more about how the food system works. We're going to learn a little bit more how to revive and do some skills that have been lost in the last generation or two. We are going to believe God at His word that He designed us for restoration and renewal, that these are things that we absolutely can learn if we are just tenacious enough to be consistent and to keep at something till we get better at it. I know that you're capable of more than you think you are. So if there's something that you've been wanting to learn, I say this is a pretty good year. I actually think this is a pretty crucial year. I think it's a really good idea. I think you should get yourself a notebook, just a regular old notebook. Well, you can't, I was gonna say get it for $1 at the Dollar Tree, but I don't think that's true anymore. Anyway, what is it, $1.25 now? $1.50, the $1.50 store. Get yourself a notebook, or if you want to do it on your laptop, but I love a good pen and paper, and start by getting it out of your head and writing it down. That's a really good first step. Whatever you want to learn this year, whatever you want to actually, and don't get totally ahead of yourself, pick one or two things. But really, first you have to decide within yourself. Say it to the Lord. Let him in the process, whatever it is. However messy it feels, he wants to be involved in the process, as any good father would. So, convenience culture, man, it did a number on us, and we see this in society. People are getting dumber, very low critical thinking skills, common sense. A lot of the kids, unfortunately, are barely literate in terms of reading and writing. We have become lazy and slothful and gluttonous because we don't have to work hard with our own hands. And that's exactly what they wanted, to make us more and more and more and more and more and more dependent until they roll out the final system and say, well, now that you all need us completely, now we finally have a system where you're going to be all taken care of. You don't really have to do anything if you don't want to. We got you. So again, now would be a very good and crucial time to let that little rebel in you out. This is a good way to channel that. I've always had this rebel streak in me, but I realized as I've matured and grown in wisdom and gotten older, you can actually direct that into things that aren't rebelling against God. You can direct it into better things. So let the little rebel out. Learn the things this year. Commit to the thing that you've been avoiding. I know you can. Absolutely know you can. And I want to thank you guys so much for always coming back here, spending a piece of your precious day with me, giving me that time, hanging out with me. I love you. I'm going to grab my emotional support cup, and all the links for you will be in the description box and pinned in the comments. Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you, beautiful and precious souls, right here on the next one. Bye, friends. Mwah.